My seedlings are looking so good. That's not a bee. I don't know what it is, but let me show you. Free compost, y'all. But look how good those roots look. Looky here. Good morning. Welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia, and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. And this morning we're out in the garden. It is Friday. It is the end of a work week, and I am very excited. And so happy Friday to everybody. What are we doing today? Today we are going to fertilize. So 2 of the block beds and the Brussels sprout bed have already been fertilized. I normally give it like a week. I let them stay in the ground for a week, and then I fertilize them with fish emulsion. So I have to get the rest of the garden fertilized. But let me show you. My seedlings are looking so good. Also, the things that were like really eaten up, I want to show you what they look like now after like 2 weeks. I feel like the block beds have been planted for almost 2 weeks. So I want you to see how they look now. They are growing. They are looking good. I'm going to start pulling off the eaten up leaves soon as well, once they all get a nice set of leaves on them. But let me show y'all real quick. So if you were here when we planted this stuff out, a lot of this was looking like this one, for instance. We're getting some leaves on them now. Very excited about that. The broccoli was never really eaten up, but can you see all of the growth on the broccoli since we planted it out? It looks so good, y'all. It looks so good out here. I'm very happy and proud so far of this fall garden. That's the other kohlrabi that we put out, and that is getting some really nice leaves on it too. Happy about that. Now, in the garden bed that my dog will not stop digging, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to like put something in front of the greenhouse just until I guess like the eggs kind of settle down, decompose a little bit more, because she has broken one more plant. I have put it back, but I haven't like redone anything. There was a big old, that's not a bee. I don't know what it is, but it's big and it has white lines on it. So I don't know what it is. I have a lot of them back here. I kind of steer clear of them though, because I don't know what they are. And so we're gonna have to fill this back in. Like back here was an Alabama blue collar, and then I had showed y'all there was a kohlrabi here. She had broken, and then this one she kind of tattered it a little bit, but I think it's gonna be okay. So we're also gonna fill these spots back in, put in another Alabama blue collar here, put in another kohlrabi here, and then we're probably gonna have to put something right here. So I was thinking about going to get another garden gate, and then I could paint that yellow too, but we go on vacation this month and I don't want to spend unnecessary money. Oh, by the way, we're gonna put some lettuce in today too. I'm gonna show you where I'm gonna put the majority of it, and we are going to use some of the compost from the chicken area. So unfortunate because it rained last night, but let me show you. So this was a space that I was saying I probably wasn't going to use, but I think it would be really good for lettuce. Now I haven't amended it or anything because I was just gonna cover it and then I was gonna amend it in the spring, but I'm pretty sure this is where we're gonna put some lettuce. We're probably gonna put some lettuce on the ends of this bed too, like right at the end and on the other side. So that's a plan for the lettuce as well. But we're gonna get some things done, just some kind of upkeep things, filling in spaces where like my dog had dug, just in general, planting out a few more things. The lettuce over here is looking real good. Oh, I'm thinking that I might go ahead and put the kale into the garden bed that has the roselle in the greenhouse, because I think that it could still grow. There's still light down at the bottom. It could still get to growing. So the lettuce is over here, still looking really good, but I know I got to get it into some spot, and I really want this big butterhead lettuce. So that's what we're gonna put in that spot I just showed you. But the lettuce is looking amazing still. When I pot up lettuce from now on, this is what I'm gonna do. It's literally in a 5-inch pot, and I put a bunch of them in one 5-inch pot, and it worked out real well, y'all, because I didn't feel like literally pricking out each one of them. They look good. So we're gonna plant those out today too. And I think I'm gonna plant first and then fertilize. I don't want to fertilize and then decide I'm gonna plant something out where I fertilize, because fish emulsion smells absolutely terrible. So I think where we're gonna start is over in the chicken area, and I think that I need to get them water too, so I'll do that. But we're gonna start over in the chicken area, and I'm gonna try to dig under what's covered, because that should be less wet than anywhere else. I'm gonna grab some of the manure and I'm gonna put it in this bed, work it in a little bit. Granulated fertilizer I'm gonna put in there, probably bone meal and blood meal too. Oh, let me show y'all real quick. I want to show y'all the worm bins. They are looking really good, and I can actually see see the worm castings now because things have dried out. So I can see the worm castings. Very excited about that. Later on, maybe right before we get into our first frost, I will put some worm castings out in some of these beds. But let me show y'all. It has some mushrooms growing in it. Not a fan of that, but it's okay. Oh my God, come on top. But let me show you. I can actually see the worm castings now. It's not just like this thick amount of stuff. It's actually broken down into worm castings. I am so excited, y'all. They might need to be fed too, so I'm gonna check that today too. But look at that. That's worm castings. Worms are in here and active too. Like, can you see them right there? Very excited. And again, I don't know what these mushrooms are. I think it's just like kind of moist in here because we are humid, but I imagine that will kind of die down soon too. And this one is the same way. So I'm gonna check it later to see if I need to feed them, but very happy to see that this finally is working out for me. So I'm gonna get some treats, get a shovel, and get a little bucket because I don't need a whole bunch of the manure from out of there, the compost from out of there, just enough to cover that little bed and work it in. So I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna give them some treats. I'm gonna get them some water. I'm pretty sure they need water. And then we're gonna move on to actual gardening. And I also need to take care of the quail, but I'll do that in a few minutes as well. It's about 9 o'clock in the a.m. I was on the phone with my sister. I had planned to get out here a little bit earlier, but I also try to give time to the people in my life. And they try to call early before I get started. Y'all love this hose link. I mean, it just makes it so much easier to get everything done. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. All right, let's go in here. Oh, apple cider vinegar. I put it in their water when I give them water. It's supposed to be good for them. It helped when I was having all of those issues. I imagine it's one of the things that helped when I was having all those issues. All right, we're gonna get them some water. This is a 3-gallon waterer. I don't have to get them water often. And I have it in the shade so that we don't really have to worry about the algae building up. Although I still have to clean it every so often, like do a deep clean on it. Forgot to put this down here to close it while I fill it. All right, so that's done. Now, let's grab some compost. So I don't know if y'all remember me saying like, I need to come and rake this. I think when they moved the shed, there was like a whole bunch of plastic and different stuff under the shed. And then when the chickens started to scratch, they scratched that up, which, you know, it is what it is. So I need to rake over here, like just rake the top layer. But for now, we're just gonna take this compost, and it's not that wet over here. I'm happy to see that because we got a good amount of rain yesterday. Also, we need to move their coop because it's now unlevel and the back is open. One thing about my space is it's not level, never has been, but I still use it, and we have to move the coop every so often because it's not level and it just keeps settling, which, you know, it's fine. I put that there so the birds can't get in, but the birds still get in. All right, so we finally made it over here. Look at that. That is compost from the chickens. It's wood chips from when I put down wood chips, so that stuff is broken down a good amount. So that's like free compost, y'all, but not really because them chickens cost money to take care of them. But anyway, it works because today I was like, I'm not going to buy anything. I've done most of the garden beds. We're gonna use what we have for what's left over. And this is really the only thing that's left over. But the green stalks, for real, I'm probably gonna get maybe 2 to 3 bags and amend them all with that and some granulated fertilizer. So let's get to work on this. All right, so I have grabbed everything that I need, including my stool, because I'm gonna be down here for a minute. I had put a sunflower down here, and the head of it, I just left the seeds and everything. Hopefully they will volunteer next year. Anyway, where are my gloves? I did grab some gloves for this. We're gonna pour all of this compost in here and just mix it in. I don't normally amend this bed well, and it's a tiny one, so that's really why. Also, I need to do this from the other side. 1 second. And I'm gonna try to pull out any plastic that I see once I dump it out too. But I really need to clean out the chicken area. Sorry about the camera and where I am in relation to it. It's a nice little top dressing, but I'm gonna mix it in with the soil too. If I'm honest, it's an odd little space for a garden bed, but as I keep saying, I didn't plan this garden out. This is pretty dry as well. We'll have to really water this in once we plant out too. It'll give it a nice little foundation to get started back up for the season. Also, it's probably a good idea because I had the mole in the vole. So with that being said, I'm sure there's tunnels under here that I haven't gotten before. Probably should have got the actual fork to like really get down in here. And this was a no dig bed. Somebody asked me what is no dig. It's basically you put down cardboard, you wet that cardboard, and then you put compost or soil on top of it, and then you can just start planting and you don't have to dig and all of that stuff. So that's what this bed was. Wow, pull some of that up. I imagine it's probably that blueberry bush, but all the roots in this soil, it'll be fine. Plastic, plastic, plastic. So much plastic. Bodies, 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 bodies. Mosquito bit my face earlier. We hate that for me. All right, so we've done that. And now we're gonna add a little bit of granulated fertilizer. I use the Espoma Garden Tone. I do believe I threw away my small bag that I was replenishing my garden tone so that I wouldn't have to bring the whole bag down. When I cleaned up the porch, I think I threw it away. So I'll put a picture from the internet on the screen for you because we don't have a lot of space over here. And I'm making a whole mess, a whole mess, y'all, because the bag is behind me. We just gonna mix this into the top layer of the soil. Gonna do the same thing with the bone meal and blood meal. So this should be a nice fertile space. I'm gonna cover this with some straw like I cover all of my spaces, but I'm happy to see things are breaking down over in the chicken area. Looks good. This is the bone meal that I use. This is the blood meal that I'm using. It's what I could find at the store. Not picky with most of my amendments. The only thing I guess that I have been holding strong to for years is the Espoma granulated fertilizer. And then I do use bone meal and blood meal, but I'm not tied to a company. It's just whatever I can find, and as long as it says organic on it, that's what I use. Let's do it this way, Asia. That makes more sense. Girl. All right, mix that into the top layer. And so when I fertilize today, I'm not gonna fertilize this bed because it's new. I'll give it a week or so, and then I will do some fish emulsion. That's just my choice. I'm sure I could do it right now today. It's just my choice, so I'm not going to. This is a space where I want a small raised bed too, but I don't even know if they have raised beds this size. But what we will do is water in really good once we get this lettuce in. Lettuce is another thing that needs like a lot of moisture because it's pretty much just water. This is very dry right now, and I'm not doing any like specific measurements of how far they are apart because a small leaf, a large leaf of lettuce can be eaten, and that's the way I look at it. So we get a few in here. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 lettuce plants in here. And this is what I was showing you. There's a whole bunch of lettuce in one 5-inch pot, and it was very small when I put it in here, but it grew just fine this way. And I haven't noticed that lettuce has an issue having its roots disturbed. I'm gonna pull these roots apart, but look how good those roots look. I hope y'all can see them. They look real good. But I'm just gonna kind of knock most of the soil off, pull them apart. Just like that. That's a nice lettuce start. Y'all see it? Nice. And we're gonna just start dropping them down in here. And I don't plant them deeper. I plant them where they were in the pot. And I'm trying to take the largest ones first. But we really enjoyed this big butterhead lettuce. When it came to an end in spring, my son was like, where the lettuce at? I was like, it's the end of lettuce for now. Because it will bolt quickly in my area. We get too hot to grow this type of lettuce. And that's not big butterhead. That got mixed up, I do believe. So we got another one here. here. Gonna go ahead and separate that too. And we're gonna do this same thing throughout the garden. We're just gonna drop lettuce wherever we can. Because like I said, we really enjoyed it. And lettuce doesn't have to have a lot of space. No matter the size of the lettuce leaf, it can still be eaten. So if you don't mind small lettuce leaves, you can get a lot of lettuce in one spot. All right, now we're just gonna go back through, push them in, and then I'm gonna water first and then cover because I wanna make sure I get this compost and soil pretty moist. And these are for sure gonna look, I'm positive, gonna look like really sad for a few days. For one, I broke up their roots. For two, I'm doing this in the morning, which means they gotta go through the heat of this day. Ooh, I see worm. We love that, love to see a worm. First round of lettuce planted. We will continue to plant in spaces we can find. May even do a little bit of succession sowing, so not do them all today. Add some more in 2 weeks. They are surviving just fine in the pots right now. I'm happy about that. Now, let's get these watered in and I'm gonna move along. So I'm gonna let that soak in a little bit. I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna spray it again, and then I'm gonna put some straw on it. Right now though, I'm gonna move on to replanting the stuff in the greenhouse and then finding a way to box it off so that my dog does not get in there again. All right, so we have made it into the greenhouse and I went ahead and grabbed the starts that I needed. There's a good reason why keeping starts is not a bad idea. I could have never foreseen my dog would come in here and eat everything up. Well, actually, she didn't eat anything. She just broke things. We're just replacing it. I'm not amending with bone meal and blood meal because I've already done it when I planted the first time. So that's another Alabama blue. We got some more kohlrabi. We're gonna go ahead and replace that kohlrabi in here too. But if she comes back, we'll have plenty to replace it with again. Hopefully she doesn't come back. Like I said, I don't want to block it off for her because I know she likes to stay in here. She likes to come and sit in here, but she's literally causing me to have to do more work. Somebody said she was fertilized, no, aerating. I said, she's being a pest. She's being a whole entire pest. Got that in. I am gonna water these in just because they're new now. I watered the bed earlier. Also, somebody wanted to know if I see blades of grass in this straw. I do, and for me it's fine. I'll just pull it out. I'm probably gonna come back, put a little more straw on the top just because, oh my goodness, it's so loud. If y'all hear it, sorry. Just because I really want it to be mulch to hold in the moisture, and at this point my dog has come through and mixed the straw in technically. So yeah, I'm gonna water those two new ones in though. And you probably noticed I planted them deeper. I do that with all of my brassicas for the most part. Didn't do it with the lettuce, never done it before. I feel like lettuce roots are so shallow that it wouldn't be a good idea. I'm also gonna go ahead and plant out the kale in the bed with the roselle like I told you and see how that works. The sun is out, so it's kind of warm in this greenhouse. So we're gonna run through that real fast, quick and in a hurry. So my plan here is just to put it in between. And then once I pull the roselle out, it'll get more sun. Not to mention kales can grow in a little bit of shade. So I imagine I'm still gonna get some growth in here, but it'll start to grow better once the roselle comes out, but at least it'll already be in the ground and getting established. Well, in the garden bed and getting established. That's my plan here. And we are gonna plant it deeper and then cover it back up with straw. Now I haven't amended this bed, so I have to come back through and amend. This is a dinosaur kale right here. I love dinosaur kale. Make kale chips out of it. Then we'll put another one here. You can see the little white butterfly cabbage moth already in here. But I've been watching, so I'm not worried about it. This is a dazzling blue kale. Just think it would add some pretty color in here. And I need to see if I have any other kale out there. If not, these will work. These will work. All right, that's in. I'll put another dazzling blue over here. And then I'll see if I have any other kale out there. Soil feels good, looks good out here. So I love that. Let me see if I have any other kale, y'all. I'll be right back. Doesn't look like I have any other kale, but I want to try this Groninger Brussels sprout in here. So we'll do that. Kale and a Brussels sprout plant and see what we get. Once I pull the roselle out, I'll probably see that I have more space to plant other things. But for now, I'm planting what I can think of. And I want to try this Brussels sprout in here. Actually, this says Long Island. This is a Long Island Brussels sprout. And we're going to drop it in there. So this will be cool. Brussels sprouts are heavy feeders. So I'll make sure I come in here and feed often. Got a few more things planted out. Kind of filling in spaces today, I guess, if you will. That's what we're doing, filling in spaces. Go ahead and water them in. Hey y'all, so it's a little bit later in the day. It's a little bit later in the day because it was very loud out here. I cannot focus talking everything when it's that loud. Somebody was cutting what felt like 5 acres of grass. We don't even have 5-acre lots out here. But anyway, I'm gonna show you, I didn't stop working, I just stopped recording. But I'm gonna show you what I did. I didn't get a lot done, but I did stay out here for a little bit longer. One of the things that I did do is I consolidated my seedlings. After a while, it feels like there's just seedlings everywhere. So I consolidated them down to 4 trays. Let me show you. Oh, also got them fertilized too. I think I was mentioning that earlier this week that I needed to fertilize them. So I didn't fertilize the garden yet because whatever is left in these containers, I want to pour in the garden and then finish fertilizing the garden. So I have not done that yet, but let me show you what I did. So basically, if there was like an extra seedling and there was only one seedling, like for instance, this Zabrone shallot, there was only one Zabrone shallot. So I just pulled it out of the container. Good thing about these containers is they really come out the same size they were in, so you can slide them into another container. So I did a lot of that, like this Flood of Italy is one of them. And then I tried to put everything together. So if it's broccoli, it's all in one. If it's kale, it's all in one. If it's cabbage, like this one is a mix. But yeah, that's what I did. So we got 3 trays over here. I think I said 4, it's 5, and then the lettuce tray too. And so then I did the same thing over here, like same sizes if they could fit, just to kind of make it less hectic for me when I'm looking for seedlings. So got that done. Another thing I did is I went ahead and planted some of the onions in this blue green stalk. This blue green stalk didn't grow much, so I didn't feel like I really needed to amend it. I can just come through with fish emulsions because onions do like a good amount of nitrogen. So I went ahead, filled all the empty pockets with the onions. You really can't see them because my thought was you're not taking care of the onions anyway, so you might as well put them somewhere where maybe they can grow a little bit better on their own. I don't know how I let them onion plants get away from me like that, but I have more onions in the house. That's what I'm about to do actually, is I'm gonna go in the house, pot up my snapdragons. I have onions. I'm just gonna put them in a 5-inch pot and let them grow on like that because they're kind of like the lettuce. They don't mind having their roots disturbed. So I'm just gonna move them up into a 5-inch pot as well. So that's what we got done. Oh, I had some cilantro. I went ahead and put some cilantro over here in this green stalk, so you can see it's some small things of cilantro in here. So I put those into the herb green stalk as well. Cilantro likes to grow in, you know, cooler temperatures. That green stalk does get a little bit of shade. Doesn't look like it now. It's like full sun right now, but it does get a little bit of shade later on in the day. It's about 3 o'clock right now. Oh, I picked some grapes. Finally harvested some grapes. I put a picture on the screen. I posted it to Instagram. So I spent some time doing that, and I tied those tomatoes up. So that's what I got done. I didn't do anything else like out in the garden. I wanted to do it with you all, but my goodness, it was so loud. We still got this lettuce right here. I'm gonna get that planted out on my own. Oh, and then the other thing I'm planning to do is grab some more of the chicken manure and go ahead and amend all of these bags right here. I said I was gonna put lettuce in them. We will see. Oh, I should have took time to move that yarrow. I'll do that too. By the way, looky here. Golden Marconi is ripening. Very excited about that. That's what I've been waiting for. That's why I'm not harvesting these Golden Marconis, because they turn this beautiful orange color. So yeah, I'm excited. Golden Marconis are another really sweet pepper. Not as sweet as the Jimmy Nardello, but a really good sweet pepper. Also, let me show you these lettuce that's still laying on the ground, but I promise y'all they gonna sit back up. I promise they gonna sit back up. That's the lettuce that we just planted out today, but we will keep an eye on it. Like I said, we'll be in another video in a week or so, and this lettuce will be sitting up and looking just fine. And so that's the video for today. It was just too loud for me, y'all. I'm so sorry. I wanted this to be a little bit longer for y'all to watch over the weekend, but it is what it is. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to visit me over on Instagram, where I post about the things going on in my garden almost every day. Bye, y'all.